This is again the start of my YouTube channel. I really want to start just, uploading stuff, kind of getting used to it, building a habit. I don't really care if it blows up. Again, I want something to document my progress on, be able to look back on and help at least one person if possible. That'd be the coolest thing ever. I really, really, really don't want anything from this. I don't want this to be some big thing. But apart from that, Q1. So again, we're going to get into the practice and the backtesting and all that. I hope to be able to essentially replicate what I want to do live this new year and hone in on it, practice it, master it. So this will probably be one of the first videos that I post on my YouTube channel, because I do have a lot already. Obviously, I've been recording myself backtest through all of these, but I don't know, maybe those were a little subpar in terms of quality or professionality, because I do let it rip sometimes. So I'm gonna turn off the camera and I'm gonna get this going and lock in and hopefully have something to offer for any and everybody watching. So peace. All right, so let's get into it now. I guess I'll start off with essentially what my strategy is and how I trade. So I'm a big order flow trader, and I don't mean time and sales. I mean price action, structure, time frame alignment, stacking it all together, like all those little mechanisms in a clock, right? All the gears got to grind together to make sense. So that's basically what I trade. That's what I am, right? I take big priority and I put really all my emphasis into displacement, structure, order blocks, fair value gaps, changes in the state, and I guess I'll be discussing all that and showing what I mean in this entire session. I'm based in LA, so my time is set to Pacific Standard, so everything you see here is 3 hours behind New York time, so this is 9:30 open, right? Okay, so in terms of strategy, what is price doing here? Is price clean? No. I mean, it's a steady uptrend here, but the only form of displacement, aka fair value gaps, have already been tested, have already delivered, and pretty much our last bit of manipulation, which was here, has already been displaced through. So what is this? A change in state delivery on the higher time frame. Now this is pretty massive, right? This is telling us that after this sweep of the previous week's high, price is starting to trend lower with displacement, right? And here's one of the biggest things about me. I prefer trading shorts so much more than I do longs. Now, if you think about it, when price is in an uptrend, it takes a lot longer to build up price. Whereas with shorts, it's like once that rug is pulled, once the floor is gone, it just melts and you get really strong efficiency lower, right? So me personally, I love shorts. I love being bearish, and I love bearish trends because it's so much more efficient, right? Now, so where are we here? So obviously price made that internal change in the state delivery, with the most likely drawn liquidity being our range low, right? Because, well, again, as we had discussed earlier, the last bit of efficiency and manipulation, so this order block got completely disrespected. Price is closing way below a lot of the bullish PD arrays, and so with displacement, and so we can assume that price is going to maintain the bearish order flow, right? At least up to this drawn liquidity. Maybe even this one here. Whoops. Okay. So there's that. Now, okay. So right here, what do we have? We have SMT with London and Asia. Now, SMT isn't really, well, yeah. SMT isn't really something that I give major priority to. I used to a lot, and then I started pattern trading SMTs. You know, I put it above everything, and I quickly learned that I was not in any way going to be profitable pattern trading SMTs. So I basically threw those out, and I focused more on learning how, why, when price moves, and a big factor of that is efficiency, right? Price efficiency. What is price efficiency? How well is it at doing something? How well is it at doing its job? If price is trending lower, you get a retrace and a retest, and price confirms that it wants to keep sinking. How well can it execute that bearish program, right? That's what we're looking for, efficiency. So I'm gonna just shut up and backtest, dude. I feel like I'm yapping. So, but I'll explain essentially what it is I'm looking for. Again, I'll retest into our bearish efficiencies, right? Fair value gap, and then closure below previous structure, preferably on the 15 minute order flow is honestly my bread and butter. Cool. Major displacement legs. Displacement legs. Candles. So as we can see, price is starting to kind of blow past this low. It's Tuesday, January 2nd. No news. Sorry for the flashbang. So obviously price is taking this low. So now we are pretty much completely bearish, right? Price is telling us, hey, we are sinking. We are trending lower. Now here with shorts, dang. With shorts, like I was saying earlier, once the rug is pulled, it's like a free fall, right? Now, I'm okay with trading breakouts and chasing price action on shorts, especially when the volatility's there, because more likely, more often than not, price is just going to keep freaking sinking, right? So, this candle formation here is something that I look forward for when trading shorts. Now, yes, I would have loved to have caught the displacement from here, because that's a lot of price action on the table that we're leaving on the table. But I was kind of too trigger happy with the button pushing. So here we are now. Initial long entry when I kind of started here, long entry, short entry when I started here would have been this. This is kind of what I was paying attention to, and I'm very big on 2-to-1s. So that would have been the first trade, but obviously I slept on it. I was pushing buttons too fast. But anyways, this candle formation here, what I was talking about. Now this is important because it all lines up, right? Again, order flow. Displacement, this candle on the 15-second is an order block. Displacement, again. Displacement. Now what do you have? You have an order block, manipulation into displacement, and a closure below. So this, in my opinion, is a pretty decent chase, because ultimately this late to the party, you are chasing price action. No, but I also really do like this because of the time. 9:45, open of a new 15-minute candle. I guess we can pretty much expect to see volatility through, right? Because it is the start of that 15-minute candle. And obviously, after seeing that massive displacement in the previous one, we can pretty safely assume that price will continue that bearish order flow. Yay. Now, in cases like this, you can recognize conditions and extend your target. Like, that's something that I'm big on, right? Because, in my opinion, patience is key. But when you're presented with the right opportunities, when you're presented with, like all of the elements, all of the confluences, everything lining up, and it's finally your time to attack, dude, fucking go full blast. That's my point of view, at least. But ultimately, the reason why I stuck to 2-1 is because, again, it's already at the bottom of the barrel. And a key liquidity point is here. Like, it just got taken, right, with my trade. Now, if it were this trade up here, absolutely 100% recognize conditions, right? This is just steady melting. Extend and take a higher profit rather than a 2-1. But yeah, see, that's exactly what you don't want, right? Recognize conditions, but don't be negligent on them. And I'm also big about one trade a day. Pretty specifically. Oh, nice. So both key liquidity targets got hit. Big on trading once a day, and specifically between market open and 10:15 or 7:15 my time. I just feel like that is the most volatile, most efficient time of trading in the day. So I pretty much just stick to that, right? Okay. Excuse me. So a pretty fat SMT here, but again, I don't really care too much about SMT. At least not initially. If I'm to consider SMT, like it needs to, warrant a reaction, right? Just because there's this SMT, there's this price difference in structure, I'm not going to automatically assume that this is just going to, launch to the moon, right? I need to see that confirmation happen first before I start assuming negligently. But on the other hand, what's happening now? So you got your displacement. Very clean bearish order flow. You have test of this order block here, creation of a new one, and displacement passed. Now, ultimately, again, price is kind of at the bottom of the barrel already. As you can see, it's slowing down. So it's not as enticing, right? Especially after just having taken this low, previous day low. So it's something you have to consider. Now, if price is to take off, respect bearish price action, obviously, you want to see the continuation past your continuation past previous structure, right? So this is your displacement, your correction. Displacement pass when price closes under this. It's right now testing this little bit of efficiency, but as soon as, honestly, that gets fact, then I'm going to look towards buy side. All right, you ready for a flashbang? 3, 2, 1. Wednesday, pretty big news day. Now, this could be something that could warrant a flip, right? So we kind of want to be careful because we can see, obviously, recognize conditions. Price. It's kind of tricky here. So as soon as this gets met, it's like I'm throwing the bearish narrative out the window, because that is our bit of efficiency. That's our bearish price range that we want to see respected. And if it gets disrespected, then the bearish narrative is pretty cooked. It's edging it, dude. Wow. So that, my friends, is what I call price inefficiency, right? This is not an efficient job at delivering to the buy side at all. Do I want to trade this? No, not really. Okay, 10 a.m. hit, finally. Yes, 10 a.m. was really where all the news was at. Finally ran out our bearish narrative. We don't really care for it anymore. Now, if we're to start looking for longs, we need to see confirmation in the form of a 15-minute closure above our bearish price leg. When you see a closure above that blue line. The only thing is, obviously, it's barely the start of the 15-minute candle. So, oh my gosh, I'm not trading that. Inefficiency, my friends. It's best to just stay away when price is doing all that bullish. Bullish is what I say when I want to curse, but I want to keep it PG as well. Figure it out. You'll know what it means. Anyways, so obviously pretty serious bearish delivery, even though we were facing some serious price inefficiency there, but oh well. It's best to just walk away rather than try and force a narrative that obviously is not playing out. So here, what do we have here? Again, just bearish order flow, dude. It's sinking. I love it because it's so clean. Test an order block, displacement through. We want this displacement to hold. All right, if we zoom in, what's our last bit of efficiency? It's this. Has it been rebalanced into? No. So we know that although, yes, it closed below, there is no liquidity taken. So we'd like to see internal manipulation and then sell side delivery. That's what we needed. Okay, it's completely gonna run through it, isn't it? Kind of gay, but oh well. 3, 2, 1. What's ADP? 530. Oh well. That's an interesting candle. I really like these engulfing kind of candles. All right, because this is doing 3 jobs at once. Number 1, it's manipulating the high of this up candle. So it's manipulating essentially an order block. Number 2, it's displacing. And number 3, it changes state delivery. So this is a pretty enticing candle. However, I prefer to see actual structural closes and not just a change of internal structure, right? I want to see price actually close below. Or at least displace pretty cleanly through. Okay. All right. Pretty lame. Mm-hmm. 10 a.m. Holy chop. No liquidity taken. Relative equal lows generated. I'm not trading this. Hell no. Friday, January 5th. NFP and 10 a.m. news, which is cool. Okay. This is a pretty massive liquidity pool. We can also consider and factor in TGIF, right? In terms of open, high, low, close, or power of 3 for every candle, right? If we're talking in terms of the weekly, we have our open, manipulation, our distribution, and our, I don't know, what do they call this? What do they call that last bit? Anyways, that's what it is. Just that recovery for TGIF, right? But again, it's not like I'm automatically going to jump ship and just start throwing shit out just cause. Gotta make sense first. So, in terms of order flow, this is our last bit of manipulation before this bearish price leg. All right. This price leg here. So this should have held if price was going to be bearish. Obviously, it didn't. So there's our change. Whoops. There's our change. Let's state. And we obviously have a whole bunch of sell side liquidity generated. And a pretty gnarly higher time frame key level sweep as well. And another thing to note, there's no real bearish efficiency in this price leg. There's no fair value gap that we can look at and say, you know what? Yeah, it's going to flip off that. So that's just another pro for the longs, right? No. With longs, I like to see some form of internal manipulation or pretty rampant distribution like that, especially if it's in the middle of a candle, right? So for example, the 15-minute candle, it's already 5 minutes in. It showed that it's just going to keep displacing. This is something that I essentially like to chase because price is so bullish. It's just bang, right? Bang. Ooh, no bueno. I don't like that. I'm going to cut it down to 1.5 just because it is already at the top of the range. And bang. Tell me how I knew that was coming. Okay, pretty gay. But obviously, that is something that I could have pretty easily avoided. I really wish I took my time with that. I'm not gonna lie, that was like a crazy, crazy chase. It's all this talking I'm doing, bro. All this yapping. Manipulated that high. Well, that's Asia too. Yeah, I should have paid more attention. That's Asia high. Ultimately, order flow is still pretty strongly bullish, but something that I could have at least waited for was actual candle closures and not just, you know, one single candle. So I was negligent on my part, very negligent. I do like this inversion. Now inversions are something that I will consider when longing. I feel like they work better with longs. Um, ooh, no wick. You know what? I'm gonna shoot though, because I really do like that inversion. Macro just begun. Oh boy, price ain't doing shit. Okay, there it is, 10 a.m. Now why did I put my stop loss there and not here? Essentially, every little wick is an order block, right? You zoom in. Every one of these are a wick that is an order block, right? Like a bit of manipulation. And so I don't want to have it here, obviously, because there's no manipulation. There's no anchor there's no manipulation to really solidify a flip. So I like to give it at least two of those little wicks, if you get what I'm saying. But yes, actual structure instead of just chasing a candle is the way to go. Cool. Fucking pointless ass loss there. Fuck that. Hell nah. Good close on the 2-1. Good way to not be greedy, because that's what longs will do to you. They'll edge, take profits, dude. Or, sorry, jaws on liquidity. So price has changed to state delivery bullish, at least on the 1 hour. With this bit of efficiency here to warrant a flip. Now, it's not the most efficient price action, but I do love this sweep. And obviously delivery through. So now we can pretty safely assume that this is drawn liquidity. However, of course, seeing how inefficient price is at this level, you want to be wary, you want to be cautious, especially because it's not the cleanest structure here, right? Again, last bit of efficiencies here, and it barely manipulated that. But manipulated did, and displaced past it did. Oh, and it's Monday next week. Monday, no news. Uh-oh. Longs on a no news Monday. This is about to be some BS. Now, if I'm chasing price, I won't lie. I do like this bit of efficiency here for a 1-to-1. However, I don't like chasing price. Okay. So there's drawn liquidity already in one candle. We already know that the rest of the day is about to be some bullish. Man, do I want to take that? If this were inverted, this was my short setup any day of the week. New 15-minute candle's about to open up right at the drawn liquidity. So I think we're going to hold off on it. But if I were to take it, this would be the mock-up. This is the mock-up. Okay, grand. Oh boy. I really didn't like how there was no wick there. Ultimately, again, the order flow and this candle formation is what I love to see, but dang, I guess I could have just had more confidence with that. If it were short trade, obviously I probably would have taken that because I have so much more confidence in shorts. But because it's long, I don't know, I just didn't have the same confidence in it, so kind of gay, but yeah, there it is. I mean, maybe we can catch something more. Yeah, there it is again. Right, there's that same candle formation. However, this has no room manipulation here, so that would be pretty gay if you took this and it did. Damn. There it is. Wow. So 3 missed trades that day. Kind of gay, but oh well. I guess I could just have a bit more confidence with longs. I've always struggled with them just because my breakout strategy, like order flow, chasing it once it's already delivered, it doesn't work as well with longs. So obviously that's a pretty strong freaking reaction, right? Crazy delivery. So narrative on the higher time frame is bullish, obviously, but order flow is super bearish. Now this is kind of a tricky trade just because obviously like it's very clearly one-sided here, right? So following internal order flow for shorts is pretty clear. However, you have no real target, right? I mean, you could target gaps, right? Opposing PD arrays, but I don't like that as much uh, as actual liquidity targets. I hope you guys can't hear my breathing. I just realized I'm probably mouth breathing like a mother hecker. Okay, so price has officially ran out the bearish narrative, in my opinion. Now, this is pretty clean order flow here. If we can see a retrace. Man, not like that. It's outside of macro already. Yeah. If I'm chasing price, I really like this setup. The only thing is, it's outside of macro. Now, that's not necessarily like a make or break. It's just we know that price is more likely to be inefficient when it's outside of macro. Right? So it's like, yeah, the structure's cool, it's clean. But what can we really expect? So I think this is just going to have to be another mock-up. There it is again. Another miss long. I really need to build my confidence with longs, bro. Because I feel like I miss out on so many long opportunities, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. Oh, Lord. Higher time frame structure is really good here, especially on the 1 hour. Manipulation, displacement through. So this is our price range that we want to see respected. So pretty much once price uh, invalidates this bearish range, this bearish price leg, which it pretty much already has. Yeah, like we're super bullish, bro. Honestly, I'm down to long this first candle too. I won't even lie. We're gonna chill out. I don't like this candle formation. I like this. That was pretty crazy, wasn't it? I mean it, dude. Like, what the heck is even going on here, bro? It's pretty. Ah, man. This is kind of gay just because, like, this is the bullish efficiency, right? In terms of this getting inversed is kind of really shitty, right? It's a crappy circumstance for long bias. This SMT is also a crappy circumstance for long bias. I mean, like, yeah, sure, structure is bullish here, but it's like you already have so many factors that are just like cooking the narrative, blowing it out of the water. You see? Oh boy. So this is essentially when I start to kind of teeter around bias, because this could easily be a bearish model instead, right? You have the displacement past this previous structure failing, and that is pretty much telling, right, of what narrative is going to do, or what narrative market has in store, right? It failed to deliver bullish price action, so this is telling me that this is in fact a sweep of liquidity with a reversal pending. Now the only thing we want to see is an actual confirmation and change in state with a strong closure below this orange line on the 15. Now the only thing is, obviously we're going to be shorting into bullish efficiency. Nah, never mind. Yeah, never mind. There's a target, which is cool. So essentially, if this closes below this orange line, if I'm chasing price, that's a good entry. But obviously, price hasn't closed below the orange line yet. That's why you stay patient, boys. No closure, no confirmation, no trade. Because it's now delivering pretty strongly past that orange line, this is actually something I'm pretty interested in, right? It's our delivery past on the 1 minute, the 3 minute, and potentially the 5 minute with our manipulation of this order block and displacement here. This engulfing candle in the 5 minute is really what's driving this. So I'm going to try it. If it's an L, it's obviously because of the same reason why I didn't take that last trade. That's who the rock is. Okay. Yep. I really don't know why I took that trade, bro. I was pretty much expecting it to fail. Dude, I guess I'm kind of bummed because I missed out on so many long opportunities, dude. I missed 3 the first day. I missed another the next, and then here I wanted to see shorts. The price completely flipped that. Said fuck you. But I really like that. Again, it's just negligence, right? Impatience, not waiting for that actual closure below that cooked that trade. So it's definitely something that I can improve on, right? Patience, young Padawan. 92.75, 92.25. Barely took that, dude. Hold on. The girl's calling me. Be right back. Alright, we're back. I'm sorry, boys. I know I'm not much of a commentator. If this is miserable to watch, I don't blame you. I probably wouldn't watch this. I mean, especially with the amount of brain rot going around nowadays. Fuck. Be miserable. Okay, so this is a pretty interesting situation. Obviously, price delivered a very strong bearish reaction. Hold on. Okay. Price delivered pretty clean bearish efficiency after taking this high. Now, again, situations like this, you really want to be patient with your narrative, right? Because yes, although it barely took this and is warranting a pretty bullish reaction off it, this isn't bullish until price closes above. And that's something that you have to keep in mind. Okay, it took it, right? But look at that. Immediately closed below, dude. Or, sorry, not immediately closed below, but failed to close above. So, yeah, it did it. But ultimately, it's still bearish. Bearish. I like this. I like this a lot. Sorry, displacement plus an order block here. Key factors, displacement past here. And this is playing off the fact that we have our bearish efficiency on the 15-minute. So if you're aligning time frame, 15-minute fair value gap, 1 minute change in the state with displacement, I'd say this is a pretty solid entry for short. Now, another thing is there is this bullish gap. So it's something that you kind of have to be cautious of. But essentially, how, why, where is that bullish gap coming from? It's coming from the very minuscule baby sweep that happened here. In my opinion, that's not enough. And this bearish fair value gap pretty much overpowered that. I'm gonna just take the fucking trade, dude. Oh my god. Even I'm getting tired of talking. Listening to myself talk. Oh. Look at me spam the buttons. Protected entry. Trail there. No, there it is. Yay. No. That's pretty cool. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I knew it. I was looking to see if there was possibly another continuation short. There was, but just after a whole lot of hoopla. Anyways. I'll do one more day here. Oh, cool. It's Friday, anyways. So I'll do this last Friday. That'll be 2 weeks of back testing in this video. My first upload on YouTube. It's gonna be so fucking miserable, dude. Oh, I already know all the freaking ICT gremlins will be salivating, talking mad sheesh about my strategy, my ugly ass face. Oh boy. But who cares? It's not about the haters. Not about the haters, baby. I'll probably cut that, because that was cringe. Okay, so what are we looking at here? This is, whoops, what'd I do? This is pretty cool long, I won't even lie. Obviously, price action is shaping up pretty nicely. After the sweep of this day's low, it's like allergic to it, right? Efficiency, the internal change, retest, and closure above this structure is leading me to believe that price wants to be super, super bullish. Yay! Flashbang. Ooh, I like that candle. I like it a lot. Yep. I'm doing it. No draws on liquidity taken recently with that spike of volatility. Cool. We're gonna do this. Put it right under there. Get in there. Can we extend to a 2-to-1 here? 10 points difference between drawn liquidity and a 2-to-1. Okay, that's a beautiful close on the 15-minute candle. That's 45. Start new 15. Oh no. No. 3, 2, 1. Boom. And so it begins. There's no real efficiency here to warrant a move up, so I want to close this break even. I won't lie to you. Is this gonna be like a major edge? I mean, it should hit that drawn liquidity, dude. ES hasn't hit it, so there's no external SMT, but there's really nothing stopping this from hitting apart from price and efficiency. So I'm gonna just keep playing it. Alright. Okay. So, anyways, I hope you nerds enjoyed that. Here's where we finished off for the first 2 weeks. Pretty decent. Pretty good. Pretty cool. Up for just shy of $4,300. With a 50% win rate, which is pretty ass. That is what I want to improve most. But hey, what are you gonna do? A lot of the trades that I took, I pretty much knew immediately what I could have done better to mitigate them, duck them completely, or just, do better. But this is what backtesting's for. This is why we do it. To learn and to fix the mistakes here and now, and not suffer them when it comes to live trading, right? A lot of my losses come from longs, though, so that's definitely something I want to improve. My confidence with longs and my execution in them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this backtesting session and my first upload to YouTube. Just keep going at it. God bless. Later.